Jotunheim, the land of giants in Norse mythology. Jotunheim, or the land of the giants, is one of the most mysterious and fascinating realms in Norse cosmology. It is described as a wild and chaotic land inhabited by the Jotnar, giants who embody the primordial forces of the universe. Far from being mere antagonists of the gods, they represent creative and destructive chaos, necessary forces that maintain the cosmic balance. Let us dive deep into this realm, exploring its landscapes, inhabitants, and significance within Norse mythology. Location of Jotunheim in the Norse cosmos. In Norse cosmology, the universe is sustained by Yggdrasil, the world tree, which connects the 9 realms. Jotunheim is one of the dimensions situated among its branches, occupying a distant and peripheral position. This placement symbolizes its role as a liminal realm, a boundary between the known and the unknown, the ordered and the chaotic. The river Ifing acts as a natural barrier between Jotunheim and Asgard, the home of the Aesir gods. This river is a unique phenomenon. It never freezes, even under the eternal winter. Its constant flow reflects the irreconcilable separation between the giants and the gods, a reminder that although they coexist within the same cosmos, they are opposing forces. Geography and landscapes of Jotunheim. Jotunheim is a land of extremes, characterized by its vastness and brutality. It is not just the home of the giants, but also a reflection of their wild spirit. Towering mountains. The mountains of Jotunheim are so high that their peaks are often lost in the clouds. It is said that they are the bones of ancient giants, a metaphor reinforcing the idea that the realm itself is shaped by the titanic forces that reside there. Impenetrable forests. Jotunheim's forests are dense with trees that seem infinite in height. These woods are home to dangerous creatures and magical beings that challenge even the gods. Among them are giant wolves like Fenrir and colossal serpents. Shadowy valleys, deep and shrouded in mist. The valleys of Jotunheim are places of mystery. It is believed that many of them serve as portals to other dimensions or as hiding places for magical artifacts guarded by the Jotnar. Harsh climate. The cold in Jotunheim is almost tangible, cutting like icy blades. Sudden storms and blizzards make survival in this realm a constant challenge. At the heart of this imposing landscape lies Utgard, the fortress of the giants. Utgard is not merely a physical structure but a symbol of the power and intellect of the Jotnar. Governed by Utgard Loki, it is a place where magic and logic intertwine. Its walls are made of cyclopean stones, and its gates are so massive that even a god like Thor appears minuscule when passing through them. The Jotnar, more than giants. The inhabitants of Jotunheim, the Jotnar, are far more complex than simple antagonists of the gods. They represent the primordial forces that shape and sustain the cosmos. 1. Ice giants. The ice giants are the oldest and are deeply connected to the origins of the universe. The first living being, Ymir, was an ice giant who emerged from the primordial chaos between the realms of Muspelheim, fire, and Niflheim, ice. Upon Ymir's death at the hands of the gods, his body formed the world. His flesh became the earth, his blood the oceans, his bones the mountains, and his skull the sky. These giants continue to personify the destructive power of winter and the relentless force of ice. They inhabit the coldest and most isolated parts of Jotunheim, places even other Jotnar fear to tread. 2. Stone giants. The stone giants are associated with the earth and endurance. Their forms are robust, often described as mimicking the mountains they inhabit. While the ice giants represent destructive cold, the stone giants symbolize rigidity and permanence. They are known for their unmatched physical strength and obstinate temperament. 3. Fire giants. Although their original home is Muspelheim, many fire giants interact with those in Jotunheim. They bring with them the devastating heat of flames, and their presence in Jotunheim often signals significant changes, such as omens of Ragnarok. Relationship with the gods. The Jotnar have a complex relationship with the Aesir and Vanir gods. While they are often seen as enemies, they also play indispensable roles in maintaining cosmic balance. Many gods have giant ancestry, such as Thor, whose mother Jord is a goddess associated with the earth and considered a giantess. Loki, the trickster god, is also of giant origin, explaining his ambiguous position between gods and chaos. The myths frequently depict confrontations between Thor and the giants, such as in the famous story where he visits Utgard and is deceived by Utgard Loki. Despite his strength, Thor is defeated through magical illusions, highlighting the cunning and intellectual power of the giants. Symbolism of Jotunheim. Jotunheim is not merely a physical place, but also a metaphysical concept. It represents the chaos of nature, the untamed forces that challenge the order imposed by gods and humans. Every aspect of Jotunheim, Its landscapes, its inhabitants, and its mythology reinforces the idea that the Norse cosmos is upheld by a delicate balance between creation and destruction. Interaction with the gods, the interaction between Jotunheim and the other realms of Norse mythology is marked by dualities, conflict and cooperation, chaos and balance. The Jotnar are natural antagonists of the Aesir and Vanir, the divine clans, but at the same time they are deeply intertwined with their existence. The relationship between gods and giants is not merely one of enmity, it is an inevitable connection that shapes the destiny of the cosmos. Giant ancestry among the gods. Many gods have roots in Jotunheim, reflecting how the Jotnar are interwoven with the very creation of the universe. Loki, for instance, is the son of the giants Farbauti and Laufey, and his ambiguous nature, straddling chaos and order, is a reflection of this origin. Another striking example is Thor, the most powerful of the Aesir, whose mother Jord is associated with the earth and considered a giantess. His very existence symbolizes the fusion of opposites, divine strength and primordial power. Epic confrontations, the clashes between Thor and the giants, are among the most recurring themes in mythology. These encounters are not merely physical battles, but symbolic confrontations between opposing forces. The brute strength of Thor is pitted against the cunning of the giants, creating unforgettable stories. Thor and Utgard Loki. One of the most emblematic myths occurs when Thor and his companions travel to Utgard, where they encounter the cunning Utgard Loki. There, Thor faces seemingly insurmountable challenges, such as lifting an enormous cat, which is actually the Midgard serpent, and competing in a drinking contest against the ocean itself. When the illusions are revealed, Thor realizes that even his power is small in the face of the magic and intelligence of the giants. This story underscores the vulnerability of the gods in the face of the chaos represented by the Jotnar. Thrym and Thor's hammer. Another famous myth involves the theft of Mjolnir by Thrym, a giant who demands Freya as his bride in exchange for returning the hammer. This episode not only showcases Thor's ingenuity, disguised as Freya, to reclaim his hammer, but also highlights the constant provocation and subversion between the giants and the gods. Symbolism of Jotunheim. Jotunheim is far more than a physical land. It is a symbol of natural chaos and primordial power that challenges the order imposed by the gods. The realm represents the untamed side of existence, where the order established by humans and gods is constantly tested. The giants, with their brute strength, cunning, and connection to elemental forces, symbolize the unpredictability of nature, storms, volcanoes, earthquakes, and other phenomena beyond human control. In contrast, the gods symbolize the attempt to bring order and stability to the universe. This duality is essential to the cosmic balance of Norse mythology. Without the chaos of Jotunheim, the order of Asgard would be stagnant and purposeless. Thus, the conflicts between the two sides are not only inevitable but necessary for the functioning of the cosmos. Jotunheim in Ragnarok. In Ragnarok, the end of the world in Norse mythology, Jotunheim and its inhabitants take on a central role. During the final battle, the giants ally with Loki and Surtur to march against the gods. 1. Loki's leadership. As a child of giants, Loki emerges as a natural leader of the Jotnar in Ragnarok. His ultimate betrayal of the Aesir is not only an act of vengeance but also the culmination of his dual nature, straddling chaos and order. 2. Surtur and the devastating fire. Surtur, the fire giant of Muspelheim, is described as wielding the flaming sword that will destroy the cosmos. He leads the giant armies against the gods, symbolizing the inevitable destruction that precedes renewal. 3. This final battle illustrates the cyclical interaction between creation and destruction in the Norse universe. Jotunheim and its giants, while seemingly villains in this narrative, are essential to the transformation and rebirth of the cosmos. Curiosities about Jotunheim. Mimir and his Well of Wisdom. The border of Jotunheim is marked by one of the most enigmatic locations in mythology, Mimir's Well. The guardian of supreme wisdom, Mimir resides in this dangerous region, where Odin, the leader of the Aesir, had to sacrifice an eye to drink from its waters. This symbolizes the connection between divine wisdom and the perils of chaos. Skrymir and Thor's test. In one of his journeys, Thor encounters Skrymir, a giant so colossal that Thor with all his might cannot harm him. The giant's bag of provisions is impossible to open, and Thor's mighty blows are likened to small raindrops by Skrymir. This story reinforces the idea that giants are not only enemies but also divine tests for the gods. Thrym and the theft of Mjolnir. The famous story of Thrym the giant who steals Thor's hammer, highlights the comedic side of the interactions between gods and giants. Thor's disguise as Freya and the fake wedding ceremony emphasize the gods' ingenuity in the face of the giants' audacious demands. Conclusion. Jotunheim encapsulates the essence of chaos and the primordial forces that permeate Norse mythology. Far beyond being merely a home for giants, it is a realm that challenges order, drives conflict, and ensures the balance of the cosmos. Whether as antagonists, allies, or ancestors, the Jotnar play a fundamental role in the mythological narrative, ensuring that the Norse universe remains dynamic, challenging, and deeply fascinating. Did you enjoy this dive into Norse mythology? Then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any video full of history, magic, and mystery. We want to hear from you. Leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. Any questions, theories, or suggestions for future topics? Let us know. Your participation is essential to continue bringing amazing content. And for music lovers, check out our band, Vale of Nyx. We are on all music platforms with tracks inspired by myths, legends, and the power of the imagination. Look for Vale of Nyx on Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, or wherever you prefer to listen to music. Hit that follow button and join us on this sonic journey. Thank you for being a part of this community. Let's explore fantastic worlds together and leave our mark in history.
Whispers in the wind, the cold winds howl, echoes of the past, a thunderous vow. Beneath the sky, where the giants roam, a land of fury, where no one's home. The earth shakes, the heavens cry, in Jotunheim, where the giants lie. Rise, O giants, with rage untold, in the fires of war, the story unfolds. Mountains tremble, the rivers freeze, as giants awake with ancient deeds. Through frostbitten plains and fiery rift, their strength is boundless, their will a gift. Under the shadow of the towering peaks, they march in silence, the fury speaks. The ground splits open, the skies bleed red, in the land where the giants are born and bred. Oh, giants land where shadows reign, chaos and order both are slain. Through fire and frost we march on high. The echoes of giants will never die. In the heart of the storm they stand and fight. In the shadows we see the light. From the depths of the earth to the sky's domain, Jotunheim calls and we break the chain. Loki's laughter, a serpent's call, the trickster's mind outwits us all. In the depths of Jotunheim's dark hold, a tale of chaos forever told. For with Mjolnir in his hand, he faces giants, they make their stand. But even thunder may not prevail against the giants whose power won't fail. From the ashes they rise again, fire and ice, blood and sin, the balance sways, the cosmos bends. Jotunheim's wrath will never end. Oh, giants land where shadows reign, chaos and order both are slain. Through fire and frost we march on high. Giants will never die. In the heart of the storm they stand and fight. In the shadows we see the light. From the depths of the earth to the sky's domain, Jotunheim calls and we break the chain. When the world burns, when the skies turn red, the giants will rise, no gods can tread. Loki leads and Surtur's flame, the world will burn and rise again in shame. Giants land where shadows reign, chaos and order both are slain. Through fire and frost we march on high. The echoes of giants will never die. In the heart of the storm they stand and fight. In the shadows we see the light. From the depths of the earth to the sky's domain, Jotunheim calls and we break the chain. The storm will pass, but the giants remain. Jotunheim